Raw gold, Yamashita treasure deposits. The Japanese Imperial Army did not just hidden, processed precious items, such as gold bars, gold coins, golden Buddha, and etc. They had also hidden raw, or unprocessed, treasure deposits, especially gold ores. You have to know that the Japanese Imperial Army took control of all mining industries, which proves that they were very knowledgeable about gold. Raw gold deposits may come in 3 different forms. The first one is raw gold found on natural rocks. This is actually the natural form of gold when mined deep under the ground. As you can see on the illustration, the gold on the rock is very noticeable. However, have you ever heard about pyrites? It's because pyrites has close similarities to gold in appearance, and it can also be found on rocks. This is the reason why it is also known as fool's gold. The second raw gold deposit can be in the form of fine dark, or grey sands. Going back to the rocks with raw gold, the first procedure to process them into gold is to grind them through large milling machines, until they results into pure fine sands. By grinding them into pure fine sands, this makes it easier to separate the gold from the particles of the rocks. The third raw gold deposit is in the form of gold powder, or dust. Going back to the pure fine sands of raw gold, the process of separating the gold from the particles of rock is known as gold panning. Just like milling the rocks, there are also large machines that can perform the panning procedure. Anyway, what's interesting about gold dust deposits is that the remaining procedure to turn it into solid gold is simply to cook it. One of the most common mistakes by amateur treasure hunters is that, when they uncover raw, or unprocessed form of gold, they end up throwing them away. But now that you know, I hope that you won't commit such mistake. You have to know that when it comes to Yamashita treasures, almost everything that they had hidden, especially those that comes with storages, is valuable. Thus, if the storage contains some certain strange objects, then it is best that you should keep it, and don't throw them away, until you know what they are. Going back to raw gold deposits, one common question that is often being asked is, how to test raw gold? I know that it is a bit confusing to distinguish iron pyrite, or fool's gold with the real gold. The good thing is that there are many different methods on how you can test it. If you have the raw gold in its rock form, what I recommend is the vinegar, or nitric acid method. For safety reason, I prefer to use vinegar, because improper handling with the nitric acid can be dangerous. The procedure is to take a sample of your suspected rock with raw gold on it, and then submerge it into a container filled with vinegar. Offer it for around 3 to 5 minutes, or more, before checking it back for the result. If the result has turned your sample, specifically the suspected gold, into black, or dark color, then sadly, it is a fool's gold or pyrite. Otherwise, if the gold on the rock maintained its appearance, then you should be happy because your sample contains real gold. If what you found is raw gold composed of fine sands, then you need to pan it. You need a basin similar to this one, here on the illustration. Put some amount of sample on it, and then add just the right amount of water. The sample must be exactly submerged under the water. What you have to do is to constantly tilt, or shake your gold pan from side to side. Performing this action will cause the gold and dirt particles to get separated. This should allow you to collect the suspected gold to test it with the method that we just previously discussed. If it happens that what you uncovered is raw gold that is in the form of dusts, then it is a lot easier to test it. Again, you can use the vinegar or nitric acid method. Another easy method to test gold which I recommend is to use magnet. You have to know that gold won't be attracted by magnet, while pyrites do. Moreover, if you have doubts with these simple traditional methods of testing raw gold minerals, then it is best to take your sample to an assayer. If the result of your sample have high amount of gold content, then there is no doubt that what you discovered is a raw treasure deposit. Did you enjoy watching my video? If yes, and if you are new to my channel, then you may want to subscribe, like this video, and hit the small notification bell icon. By subscribing and hitting the bell icon, you will receive alerts or notifications about my new published videos. If you want a reading material about treasure hunting, then you may want to visit my blogging website at treasurehunt.club. Thank you very much for watching, and happy treasure hunting.